lovely Goan sweet recipe, Tizaan. So now these are the ingredients. As you can see, just 3 ingredients. Now here I'm taking about 1 cup of coconut milk. Now you can extract fresh coconut milk. I have just used some powder coconut and put it in some hot water. This is 3/4 of a cup of goa jaggery which I've grated. We're going to use a pinch of salt. This is about half cup of Nacchneachem flour or ragi flour, which is easily available, and it also has the husks because they grind it along with the husks, so that's much more healthier than rather soaking the Nacchneachem and then extracting the juice and then throwing away the husk. So this is easily available in any general store. Just ask them for ragi flour or Nacchneachem, and then we're going to use some water. Now here I have a pan, I have a whisk and a long wooden spoon. So let's just begin with today's very simple and very delicious and healthy recipe. So here I'm just going to add a little water at a time, and I'm going to make a paste. Now we don't want a very thick paste, but it should be a kind of a runny paste, but little on the thicker side. We don't want it to be very, very watery. So to half cup of this Nacchneachem flour, I'm going to be adding about 3/4 of the cup of water. Whisk it well so that there are no lumps in the paste. Now once we finish whisking with this, we're just going to set it aside for about 5 to 10 minutes. We want a very smooth paste. Like this. So it just flows like a very thin dosa batter. Now we're going to add a pinch of salt to this Nacchneachem paste. Again, stir it in, and now keep it aside for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now we're going to add our grated jaggery to our coconut milk. And either we're using a spoon or a whisk, we're going to whisk it in. But I like to use my hands. So with my fingers, I can just crush all of the goa jaggery into this coconut milk. That is the best way to ensure that all of the jaggery is nicely dissolved. Of course, ensure that your hands are clean. Now we did the same thing in the dal recipe, if you remember. For those of you who haven't seen my Goan dal recipe, I will leave a link for it below, and I will leave a link for all of the other Goan sweet recipes that I have uploaded on my channel. So now I'm going to put the heat on the pan on a very low to medium heat, and I'm going to add the coconut and jaggery mixture to the pan. And now I'm just going to stir the Nacchneachem or the ragi mixture as well and add it to the pan. Now we're just going to stir this for about 5 minutes on a low to medium flame till it becomes into a thick porridge consistency. We don't want to thicken it very much like how it was with the dal, but we want it to have a very, a kind of a porridge consistency. Now this Tizaan is given mostly to people who are, a little bit anemic, or who are just getting well, or someone who's running a fever. And it's also given to small children as well as new moms, because this is very rich. Ragi or Nacchneachem is very rich in iron and calcium. So anyone who's anemic, or if you have deficiency of iron, then you should incorporate Nacchneachem or ragi in some form in your diet. I also have a recipe for my Nacchneachem bhakri. I will link that also below. You can use, you go and check out that recipe. So these are the natural ways of increasing iron for those of you who have a deficiency of iron. So this is a very, very healthy porridge, and even small children are given this because it's easy for them to just swallow it. Of course, you shouldn't have this in too much of it, but in a moderate amount is good. So that's our Tizaan already, and you can either have it piping hot or you can serve it chilled if you like it that way. So let's see today's lovely recipe. Now here I've taken 1 cup of rice, washed it really well and soaked it in 3 cups of water for 5 hours. I'm using regular kolam rice. You can use even Goa rice. Now after 5 hours, we're going to drain all the water and we're going to transfer the rice to a mixer jar. To that I'm going to add 3/4 cup of grated coconut, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 3 teaspoons of sugar, and 1/4 cup of water, and we're going to grind this to a coarse paste. We don't want it to be a very fine paste, but a coarse paste like this. Now I'm going to heat a non-stick pan, and I'm just going to gently brush it with a little bit of ghee. You can also use oil. Now see that your pan is nice and hot, and now we're going to pour 4 teaspoons of the mixture in the center. And then you're just going to cover this for about half a minute and cook it on a medium flame. After half a minute, you will see some bubbles or holes or some perforations on the top. That means our Koiloreo is already ready, but we're just going to cook it for 1 minute. And after 1 minute, just loosen the edges and transfer it to a plate. We're not going to turn it over and cook it on the other side. We're going to continue doing this with the rest of the batter. So with this amount of batter, I got 4 Koiloreos. These are really delicious. They can be had all by themselves. But I'm going to show you this special ross or dip which goes fantastically well with it, and this is how it is traditionally eaten. So now in the same pan, I'm going to heat the pan and add half a cup of grated Goa jaggery. Now if you don't have Goa jaggery, you can use regular jaggery. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of water and I'm going to dissolve all of the jaggery really well. We don't want any granules, but we want a very smooth syrup. So take your time with stirring it. Now to add more flavor, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cardamom powder or elaichi powder. So I've used 2 cardamoms. Mix all of that well. And then I'm just going to add half a cup of coconut milk. Stir all of this really well, and I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Stir all of this really well for a whole minute till it thickens. Now our mixture is almost ready. Let it come to a boil and then put it off and let it completely cool to room temperature. Once it is cooled down, you're just going to transfer it to a small bowl or a cup. And our Koiloreos are ready. Our lovely ross is ready. So now I'll show you how we're going to enjoy this. So just take a small bit of the Koiloreo and dip it into this lovely ross and enjoy it. So do give this recipe a try, guys, and I'll catch you soon in my next video. Bye. Now let's go through the ingredients. Now here I have 1 cup of rava or semolina. Now you can use the fine rava or the medium rava. Next I have 1 cup of sugar. This is regular sugar. 1 cup of water. 1 cup of milk. Now this is half a cup of mixed nuts, that is raisins and cashew nuts, so 1/4 cup each, and half a cup of clarified butter and or ghee, and a few drops of yellow or orange food color. So now in a pot, I've turned the flame on, and I'm just going to add the water, the milk, and the sugar. And I'm just going to stir the 3 ingredients well together on a low to medium heat. And now I'm going to add a few drops of yellow food color. You can even use orange color, depending on what you like the color of your Sheera to be. So I'm just using this yellow gel food color. And just stir everything till the sugar melts and let it come to a gentle boil on a low flame. Now in another pan, I'm going to add the ghee or the clarified butter. It's better that you add a melted butter. Then you're going to add the dry fruits and fry them till the cashew nuts turn nice and brown, golden brown, and the raisins swell up a bit. And then I'm just going to take out a little bit of it for garnish. So about 1.5 teaspoons, I'm just going to keep it aside for garnish. And now I'm going to add the rava or the semolina to this ghee. And we're going to fry this for a whole 1.5 minutes because we want the semolina to get, the ghee nicely incorporated in it. So you can put a timer on your phone, and for 1.5 minutes, just fry this on a very low flame, stirring continuously. And you'll get this beautiful aroma of the rava. So don't skip this step. This is really important for that light and lovely Sheera. And now I'm going to add our water, milk, sugar, and food color mixture. See that it comes to a nice boil before you add it. And now you're just going to mix everything nicely together. And now I'm just going to cover and cook this for half a minute, stirring in between just once. And you will see that everything has come together really, really well. So just mix everything really nicely together. And then after this, what I like to do is I just put the flame off, and I like to just cover and keep this aside for about 2 minutes without the flame on, without any heat on, but just cover and set it aside for 2 minutes so everything really comes together really well. So this doesn't take much time to get ready, but just cover and set it aside for 2 minutes so that everything really comes together well and you get this light and lovely soft and fluffy Sheera. And now we are all ready to serve this. So here I've just taken a glass bowl and I'm just going to grease it with a little bit of clarified butter or ghee. And then I'm going to take a spoonful of the Sheera. And just press it down like this. Just even it out. And then you're just going to take another plate and just keep it on top of it and upturn it like this. Just tap it a bit. And you'll see that it nicely slides off because we greased it with some ghee. And now I'm just going to put the lovely fried raisins and cashew nuts on top as a garnish. And just for it to look even more pretty, I'm just going to add a few mint leaves. This is completely optional, but it just makes it look so pretty. And that's it, guys. Your lovely Goan Sheera is all ready to enjoy with a hot cup of tea or coffee. So I hope you liked today's recipe. Do give it a try and do leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe and do share. So friends, let's start with today's light, refreshing coconut pudding. Now here I've taken 1.5 cup of fresh grated coconut. And I'm going to put this into my mixer jar. Now, one tip would be to use fresh coconut, not the one which is stored in the refrigerator. It just makes a difference with the taste. And half a cup of warm water. And you're going to grind this to a nice smooth paste. And then you're just going to sift it or sieve it and press it down, gently, so that you get all the coconut milk out. Now we're looking for the thick coconut milk like this. So just keep squeezing out all of the coconut milk, and you'll get this dry kind of leftover coconut. Now this comes to 1.5 cup of coconut milk. So if you want to use the ready-made coconut milk powder, you should use 1.5 cup. Now here I have 2 tablespoons of rice flour. I'm just going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of the coconut milk to the rice flour, and just keep it aside for a minute. And I'm also going to be using 2 tablespoons of corn flour. So I'm going to be adding about 2 to 3 tablespoons of the coconut milk also. And we're going to stir this and make a nice slurry out of it. We're doing this because we don't want any lumps in our mixture. So I've added about 3 to 4 tablespoons just till you get a nice thin, smooth mixture. And once you get a nice thin smooth mixture, you can also use a whisk to ensure there are no lumps. Just add it back to the coconut milk. Do the same with the rice flour. Now we're not going to be using any gelatin or anything. So we're going to be just thickening this coconut milk with our rice flour and corn flour. Now just mix everything nicely, see that there are no lumps, and now we're going to put it on a low to medium flame. Keep stirring. Now we're going to add about 1/4 cup of sugar. You can adjust the sugar, the sweetness according to your taste. You can add more or you can add less. And now just keep stirring this for exactly 5 minutes on a low to medium flame, and you will see that it instantly starts to thicken. And now turn the flame off, and with the residue heat, keep stirring it. Now I'm using these silicone cupcake holders, but you can use any, even glass bowl or, any mold that you have at home. And you're just going to pour this into all of these molds. And you're now going to just refrigerate this for exactly 30 minutes. This will set after 30 minutes. So you don't need to put it in the deep freeze, just put it in a regular refrigerator for exactly 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes of waiting patiently, you'll see that it has nicely set. Now these silicone molds, if you have them, use them because they're really easy to demold. Like you will see, I'm doing it now. So now that these have set completely after 30 minutes, I'm just going to use small plates, and you'll see how easily the silicone mold comes out. Just lift it like this, and it's nice and clean and nothing is there on it. And it's nice and wobbly, and I can't wait to dig into this lovely coconut pudding. It reminds me of my childhood days when my Nana used to make this for us in Goa. Of course, she used to use, soak the rice and then grind the rice flour and then add it. But this is a instant and quicker way of making it. And I'm just going to decorate it with some sliced almonds, since I had some almonds at home, but you can put pistachios, you can put chopped cashew nuts, the choice is yours. I say that you must try this recipe during the summer because it's so light and so refreshing, and you must have this chilled. So you can see that it is set so quickly, and it is really refreshing and light and delicious. So for those of you who love coconut, this is an easy way of making some lovely coconut dessert, and just slice into it and enjoy it. So I hope you liked today's recipe. I hope you give this a try. Do let me know in the comment section of how your lovely coconut pudding turned out. And, if you like this video, then don't forget to leave it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I've got more than 800 recipes on my channel, so go and check it out. I'll leave a link to my channel below. Thank you so much. So here I've taken about half a cup of chana dal, and I'm going to wash it well under some running water, at least thrice. First, you will find that the water is very milky or murky. So till you get some clear water, you need to wash this chana dal well. And then we're going to soak this in about 2 cups of water for at least 3 to 4 hours. The chana dal needs to soak for at least 2 to 3 hours or 3 to 4 hours. Now, after 3 to 4 hours, we're going to drain all that water, and then we're going to add this to a pan, and we're going to add 2 cups of water, and we're going to bring this to a boil. Now, I'm also going to add my cashew nuts at this point. Now you will get this thick, foamy, white kind of layer on the top of the mixture. So keep removing that, ensuring that neither the dal nor the cashew nuts come into that, only the whitish soapy water. You need to remove all that. Now the dal is cooked well. So for checking it, you just take one of the grains of the dal and you just have to press the dal and between your thumb and your forefinger, and you will notice that it easily crushes up like this. That means your dal is ready. So now we can add this rice paste that I've prepared. I've just taken the rice flour, added a little bit of water, and I'm just going to whisk it till we get a nice smooth kind of paste. So what this rice paste does is it also gives this vorne a little bit of thickness rather than a watery consistency. Now I'm also going to add a pinch of salt. We're going to mix all of this well. Now I'm going to add my jaggery. Now it was very difficult for me to get Goa jaggery over here. I did try my best, but if you can get Goa jaggery, then the black or the dark brownish color, then please use that. It gives a beautiful taste. I did try in several places, but I was not able to get the Goa jaggery, so I'm just using the regular jaggery that we use at home. Now I'm going to add my rice paste and we're going to stir this nicely. So now you can see that the mixture has thickened a bit. Now we're just going to add our cardamom powder or elaichi powder. This gives a lovely flavor to this sweet dish. We have to keep on stirring on a low to medium flame. Now you can see how the dal has nicely cooked very, very well. Now it's time to add the thick coconut milk. And we're going to continue stirring. Now once you add the coconut milk, we're just going to let the mixture boil. And once it comes to a boil, we're just going to keep it for about 2 minutes. And then we're going to turn off the heat and let the mixture come to room temperature. And that's it. The vorne or soji is ready. You can see how the mixture has thickened up. You can actually see the particles of dal and the cashew nuts also. Now you can transfer this to a serving bowl. Now this quantity that I made is enough for 4 people. So if you want to make more, you can double the quantity. So this you can have piping hot, which I like to, or you can also have it chilled. It tastes great both ways.